Today we are going to present to you the latest events and happenings in the MMM global community. To all our viewers around the world, this is MNC. Our events roundup this week will have 2 stories from MMM Republic of South Africa and 6 from MMM Nigeria. While MMM Zimbabwe and MMM Nigeria are our contributors for our MMM Gives Back. And guider Emil San Juan also joins us this week for his Just an Opinion segment. This week, we start our events roundup in Republic of South Africa as Guider Patience had her offline presentation last July 2 at East London and Eastern Cape Province with many people in attendance. Singing in prayers opened the occasion, invocating the Almighty to guide the organizer and give the attendees wisdom to understand the opportunity presented by MMM to the people of South Africa to free themselves from financial bondage. Then Guider Patience presented the MMM ideology and explained all the ins and outs of being a participant of the MMM community. She also pointed to them that as a global organization, MMM aims to change the current state of the world by fighting for its members' financial freedom. She also shared that MMM has changed many lives already since it was launched in 2011. As a global community of people doing peer-to-peer donation exchange, she added that many people now can afford a decent living and are slowly getting out of debt with the help of MMM. The following day, July 3, another guider of MMM Republic of South Africa conducted his offline event at Kwamakuta in Durban. 1K guider Fiso introduced first himself and gave an overview of what topics he will discuss for the day. First part of his discussion was devoted to explaining the meaning of each letter in MMM, its aim and its nature being a global financial network that facilitates peer-to-peer donation exchange without having a central account. He next discussed a short history of MMM. Other topics he included were about how MMM works, a look at the MMM personal office, what Mavro is, and how Mavro bonuses are calculated. He also included in his talk other bonuses that a participant would get if they participate and do MMM seriously. Guider Fiso capped his presentation with a question and answer portion to further help his attendees understand the workings of the MMM community. One of the best things about MMM is when you give help, someone will help you back. But for others, this unique peer-to-peer donation exchange community is still seen as very risky undertaking. This is the challenge that Guider Felix Obe aimed to conquer as he embarked on an MMM presentation last July 3 at the Ogbomoso Teaching Hospital in Oyo State, Nigeria. He prepared his audience on what was to come with a short welcome message and introduction of himself. He then went on to more serious topics like what MMM is, its guiding ideology, and a brief history of how MMM came about under Sergey Mavro. And to conquer the fear of risks that his audience have about MMM, he showed them in detail how the entire community works and the benefits each member gets. This elicited a positive response from them as they listened intently to what he was sharing with them. Guider Felix encouraged the audience to join the community and ended with a powerful message: live your dreams and take risks. Joining Guider Felix at the front line of advancing MMM in Nigeria is female guider Joy Dubusi. On the same day, she hosted her own MMM seminar at the King David Plaza in Port Harcourt, Rivers State.
MMM, together we'll change the world. MMM, together we'll change the world.
She defined first the role of MMM in the global community and what it can do to help the people of Nigeria with an ideology embodied through donation exchange and charity works. She also introduced her guests to the concept of Bitcoin and its use in the MMM platform. With emphasis on participating only with spare money, she made illustration on how they can benefit from 30% earnings cycle and other bonuses. Discussion on safe participation rules and the coverage of MMM in Africa followed before she engaged her audience with their clarifying questions. Discussion on safe participation rules and the coverage of MMM in Africa followed before she engaged her audience with their clarifying questions. Her efforts were rewarded when some attendees registered after the event. What's the difference of putting your Naira in a bank and donating it with MMM? That is the gist of how Guider Benyeri Josie Omong opened his presentation at the Pramfinas Hotels and Suites in Calabar, Cross River State. Happening on July 6, he had mostly male audience, with two of them having the opportunity to give their initial impression of the community before Guider Benyeri started his PowerPoint presentation. He easily transitioned from topics like MMM's history and ideology down to how participants provide and get help using Mavro as the internal currency. After talking about bonuses, he also shared with them about pause mode. He ended his talk with MMM's banner slogan, "Together we change the world." Coming from a successful presentation the previous week, Guider Aquaji Silvanus went back to the tasty laurel tree at the Jakande Estate in Isolo, Lagos, Nigeria last July 9 for another event. This time, his audience is a mix of already registered members and new guests. The flow of discussion was unlike the straightforward one that he had 6 days before that day. Early on, he already engaged questions of new members about things that they want to clarify about the MMM community. For the sake of his new guests, he still shifted back to the usual presentation topics. While encouraging those still unregistered to join, he cautioned them to participate only with their spare money. He also challenged them to take the risk with MMM, especially if they want their lives to change for the better. And for those still afraid of the risk, even after listening to him, he told them to know more how the MMM community works by attending MMM-sponsored activities like charity events, seminars, offline presentations, and rallies. It does not take fancy clothes or expensive gadgets to be able to do a comprehensive MMM presentation. In just his simple attire of a shirt, denim and sandals, and aided by a laptop, whiteboard, and a marker, Guider Oraide Olalua was able to completely introduce MMM to his audience last July 9 at the Lekan Salami Stadium in Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. He started with a short introduction of himself and invited his attendees to listen to what he has to share. From there, he smoothly transitioned from one topic to another about the meaning of MMM, how it differs from network marketing, its ideology, and how it works. He was also able to discuss while making some illustrations on the whiteboard about Mavro, the bonuses MMM provides, and what contributes to a pause mode to be triggered in MMM. And anticipating more questions, he already gave them detailed answers to frequently asked questions about MMM. If you really want to do something, you will find a way, even if meant going to a place about 200 kilometers away or about 4 hours of drive. This is what happened in our last story for the week as Guider Victor Adelofahu Olaferemi of Niger State traveled to the Kwara State of Nigeria on July 9 to conduct a one-day seminar about MMM. With the theme, Provide Help and Get Help, he invited people at the Becadem's Hotel and Resort Center in Ilorin for his talk. Videos about MMM were shown first before he formally welcomed the audience and introduced himself. He then did a quick but thorough rundown about MMM's ideology, how it works, and the benefits it provides that can help their lives. Exchange of questions and answers followed between Guider Adevolahu and his audience, and he made sure that they fully understood the workings of the community and the challenges and the responsibility that members must face. His thorough answers impressed his guests and got positive responses when he encouraged them to join the MMM community of Nigeria. MMM Gives Back starts this week with Guider Rejoice Onlovu of MMM East Africa as she traveled with her team last July 29 to conduct a charity event at the Makosini Primary School. The school is located at Pisini in Natambuku Rural Eastern Cape, South Africa. Guiders Madiwa Mapungwana, Simokonseni Onlovu, Otor Mushigwa, Mabolecho Onlovu, Simangaliso Firi, Situkal Onlovu, Limukani Dube, and cameraman Mike were present to support Guider Rejoice in spreading the good deeds sponsored by the MMM community. They have turned over 70 galvanized iron sheet to the Makosini Primary School as some of the classrooms already needed urgent repair and new roof. Mr. Kezido Moswa urged the parents who were present in the occasion to join the MMM community. Teachers, parents, and the team of guiders shared some light snacks and drinks to cap off the event. The words of Mother Teresa that says, "It is not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving," is what inspired the organizer of our next featured story. Last August 8, Guider Ovi Felix and his team did another Power of Giving event at Ogbomoso in Oyo State in Nigeria.
Found less privilege. Charity found less privilege.
They distributed plastic bags containing rice and some foodstuff to more than a dozen of less privileged people who are mostly children and elderly people. Recipients from the community of Ogbomoso were very happy for the gifts they received from the MMM community. For the team, their successful event is a testament that no one is useless in this world who lightens the burden of another. Still in Nigeria, we now go to Minna, a city in Niger State, for our last MMM Gives Back story this week. For Guider Ibrahim Abdul Rashid, it is good to always give without remembering and always receive without forgetting. So on August 9 of this year, he organized a team and visited the shelter in Minna that takes care of homeless people, most of which are children. He made a short introduction about the MMM community and its ideology that encourages charity. Then he turned over the essentials that they have brought. He also gave financial assistance, which he deemed would help cover other needs of the people the shelter is taking care of. And for their effort, the team received a warm round of thanks from the people in the shelter.
Hello everyone, a pleasant day to all of you. My name is Emil, and this is Just My Opinion. Today we will tackle another brand new topic coming from the suggestions of our beloved viewers. It's hard to pick which one is best, so I prefer to make a way for a topic which is the most applicable in the MMM today. One viewer asked my opinion about changing Guider, and so the title of our segment today will be, "Is it a wise decision to change your Guider?" Before we answer this, let's go back to the basics of being a guider. MMM guiders, from the title itself, are individuals entrusted by the community to guide their participants, whether personally invited by them or sponsored by their downlines in their structure. The task of a guider is to ensure that at least 99% of the structure under him or her are all well informed about the rules, the regulations, and the latest updates about the MMM community. Furthermore, guiders are also expected to conduct events to make their group active and to keep their structure growing. However, here's my viewpoint about being a guider. I would like to share, since I had an experience of being a guider too. We as guiders are expected to perform all these duties and tasks to help the community, which gives us tons of responsibilities to do. In fact, I knew some guiders who already sacrificed their sleep for so many times just to help their participants. And we all know that guiders are human too. They commit mistakes, they are not perfect, they sometimes get exhausted and tired, and sometimes they lost their temper due to lack of rest. Now, what does it mean for you? It means that if you are a participant and if you have a guider, you have to understand that he or she had imperfections too, just like you. So, when you get an argument with your guider, don't be easily swayed by your emotions and transfer to another guider, especially if your guider is your direct referrer. You know why? Because if you were not referred to by him or her, you will not know about this opportunity in MMM. So before you think of changing your guider, you have to consider thinking twice. Think of the pros and cons and all the person who might get affected by your decision. Actually, my self-rule is, I will not totally depend on my guider because I know he is busy. The fact that I was invited by him in MMM makes me really feel grateful. And for that, I consider it as a favor I can never repay back with money. Without my guider's effort, I will not be in MMM and up until this moment. So, whenever my guider takes a long time to respond to my issues in MMM, I never blame him nor think of changing him as my guider, because I know that being in MMM means being matured and responsible for all my actions and decisions. Now, here's my message to all the guiders who experience that their downlines transferred to another structure. Don't be mad or don't be sad. It's not your loss if your downline transferred to another guider. Just think of it as a way of sorting people. When you are a guider, you only want loyal people in your structures. I am right? So, downlines transferring to another guider is just like a blessing in disguise for you. Don't take it seriously. Accept the fact that you are not perfect and respect other people's decision. In that way, you too can get respect from others. And don't make it a big deal. You know why? Because you are in MMM, not in MLM. That's it for this week. See you again next week for another exciting episode. This is Emil, and remember that everything that I said in this video is just my opinion. Have a great day and bye-bye. Take care.
Eid Mubarak to our MMM community members who are Muslims as they celebrate Eid al-Adha. This is Mark, bidding you all a great week ahead. Always remember, together, we change the world.